Well, come on in. We've got a busy day in chat already. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Can I get the correct scene? Boom. So yeah. Welcome on in, everyone. So, to note positive, first of all, the audio in the game is quieter when it's paused. But second of all, I balance it very quiet, partly because I tend to stay very quiet, and you know how you start picking up things from streams that you wind up liking the feel of, you like certain aspects of it? One of the things for me is I end up with some auditory overload issues if the music is too high, or if the game audio even is too high. It doesn't let the voice stand out, so... Aww! Aw, thank you guys! So... yeah. Folks might have seen... Yeah, definitely. It's a new haircut. I told you guys when I was out of town I was going to get it shorn off. And it is so much nicer, although... So... words, things, stuff. This weekend, some of you who are in my Discord might have noticed a very singular god damn it ringing through the general text channel. That god damn it is because I found what Stage had been sitting there and waiting for me to find with respect to discoveries of my being a dunderbutt. I ruled at one point that, I forget whether it's I ruled that I couldn't proceed further in Shrine of the Mother, or if I just, was low on health, kind of like I am now, and decided to teleport back and never got around to re-exploring it. I done goofed. Because regardless of what the circumstances were, I missed a ladder. So now that I've discovered this, right? This means that we have a bunch of tablets and stuff to go over. This means that we can get further into this area. So that's part of the goal today. I know that I generally don't like to do exploration of new areas when we're not on the main Wednesday la-mulana streams. I'm making an exception on this partly because there is a lot of documentation associated with it. This is kind of in the same boat as Chamber of Extinction 2 in terms of there's a high probability that I discover new things. So we're rolling with this. It's been a while since we've done a mapping stream though, so we're gonna kick back with this some. Because Kitty is not patient. Kitty is many things. The game thinks that Kitty is wise. Kitty is great. Kitty is not patient. So yeah. The first thing I'm gonna do, partly because in the course of trying to get here, I ended up taking a bunch of damage in the Endless Corridor, is we're gonna do a quick one-way run to get to the save point. While Staged was here, because he was here at the cottage when I discovered this, I made a one-way run just to section off the rooms here, so I know that we can get to the save point. I did not touch anything. I also did not look at things. At least any more than I had to, just to physically get there. So, once we get there, once I get to the tablet... by the way, things that I plan on checking out next stream, that falling pillar, I definitely plan on checking that out. But that'll be a Wednesday thing. But yeah. I think this might be the furthest I got, and I ruled that I couldn't go further because I'm a dunderbutt. Is that a sideways? What? Okay, so these guys just routinely defy gravity. So yes, as I noted, I did ascertain that I could get to the save point. Did I make a wrong turn? I think I did. Am I being a dunderbutt? I'm probably being a dunderbutt. Yes, I'm being a dunderbutt. Right, there's a rat there. Did I really just do this? There we go, okay. Hey, I spy a Denku. I got down there somehow, and now I'm forgetting how. Probably this way. Hey! Thunder Dude. We don't like Thunder Dude. Okay. I'm trying to remember how I went. This should work. Provided I don't die in the interim. But yeah, we are trying to get to... Brain. Okay, there we go. Cool. And behold, the Shrine of the Mother. This is where the mother sleeps. Okay. So, with the mapping stuff that we've been doing, for those who haven't been tuning in to the prior episodes, one of the things that I've been doing in this blind is taking detailed notes, and in particular, maps of each of the areas. So, as we've been going through this, okay, that sounds fun. So, I switched over to doing my tablet notes, for the most part, in a text file. But I find my handwriting to actually still be a little messy. The thing that I started doing is, I was told at so many points that my handwriting was illegible. And my handwriting used to amount to the bastard, hybrid of cursive and print. So, I'm trying to think, it was around my 3rd year of college. I switched over to writing in all caps. Which sounds like a crazy thing, but it helped a lot in terms of clarity. And it means that even when I get in a hurry and I don't fully write every letter the way I'm supposed to, I only have to guess for one of 26 characters as opposed to one of 52. But yeah, I write in all caps. It actually really served me well when I started teaching undergrad recitations. Turns out my handwriting translates very well to a blackboard. So, let's see, we are currently in this half of Beelzebub's room. So, I should heal. Yeah, we'll go heal quick. So, we now have all the teleportation points on this side. Seems weird. It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to having full wheel there. I'm also practicing getting better at having the shield up, which is why most of the time we're just gonna have the shield up. Saves me from projectiles. Drawkill's noting that his handwriting is basically illegible. He often can't read what he writes. Yeah. I've got some friends who've also had a bunch of issues with that. As with many things, I basically just wound up learning to be mindful about it. Fun fact, illegible handwriting is actually one of the things that can sometimes be a minor symptom with ADHD. So for me, it was one of those things that I started doing to try to minimize the apparent effect. I'll do my best to not cause earthquakes while we're mapping here today. But so we just went from, let's see, I think the last room that I had gotten into before was the right half of Tiamat's room. So we've got all this stuff down here to map. Additionally, and because I stopped partway through mapping before, so you see I got Amphisbaena's room in, but I started going through to section all the rooms off, and that's when I discovered stuff, because we have the thick black border that goes around rooms, which can be multiple screens. So Amphisbaena's room has two halves. The solid black heavy border goes around the entire thing. Also, if at any point we wind up with any camera issues or clarity issues, please let me know. I know that it would be ideal if I was doing this in 1080, but I did not get set up for that. I can do a little bit, though, to tweak some of the camera positioning if I need to. No. Anywho, how's everyone doing today? Let's see. Worse than you, I understand. Personally, rather than go into illegible handwriting, I used to write in ciphers. I used to write notes to friends in substitution ciphers, runic ones usually, when I was a kid. So it comes as no surprise, the fact that I decoded the one. Stage Game says, how about illegible code? He finds it makes him smart too. Dear, I don't know what qualifies as smart these days, but generally it's good if people can go back and make sense of your code after the fact. Now, one of the things that is a little bit of a difficulty is, for the sake of my mapping, so the game window itself is a 4x3. I do not map in a 4x3, because I don't like having to graft the pages together. I had to do it for at least one area. Chamber of Extinction. But other than that, I've avoided it, although when I get to Twin Labs, I will have to do that as well, but I have a sense for how to do it so that... So every area in this game has a front side and a back side thus far. What I'm thinking is that for the Twin Labs, if I don't feel like grafting them together, I think I know where the boundary between the front side and the back side halves are. So if I use that boundary and do half on the front side on one, the back side on the other, that might be a way to not have to graft things together, because otherwise I'm going to wind up with a full double size map. And MQ's slowly fixing his sleep schedule. Nah, I feel you on the groggy though, trying to fix your sleep schedule. Mine was fixed, and then I was a dunderbutt on Friday. And, well, now I'm sleeping until noon again. But that's my fault. We're working on it, though. And true, the ceiling and floor of screens are generally thicker than the walls, so the ratio doesn't work out too badly. There's some spots where it works out worse than others. The endless corridor I'm actually struggling with. I'll show you. So, I got grease on this somehow. The endless corridor has a lot of straight laterals. So, I actually am using the straight edge for a bunch of the ledges that go and platforms that go between screens, just because it is so twitchy and because there's a very thick floor that takes up around, works out to what, like 20 or 25% of the screen? So it makes it challenging to try and actually get everything scaled appropriately. This ratio works out better in some of the rooms that have more consistent buffers, basically. Which, I mean, it does. It's very consistent. It's the whole damn area, but it's difficult. It's kind of like the Temple of the Sun and the Temple of Moonlight sucked because of all the angles. Draw slept 12 hours Friday night. Oh man, welcome on in, Megas. See, I did not sleep for 12 hours on Friday night. So one of the things that Staged and I do sometimes do is on Friday night we'll have, a bottle or two of wine. And just, either he'll be streaming or we'll be working on something or we'll kick back occasionally. I was reminded on Friday why we don't go into 3 bottles. No, positive. I am making this because it helps me internalize everything better. So here's something. I'm trying to think of a good area to demonstrate this on. So if I go over to Mausoleum of the Giants, because of 2 pieces of software I have, I get an augmented map. So I look at this, and I know, partly because, for me, if I write things down, I internalize them better. The act of writing it helps me. The red arrows indicate normal transitions. The green rooms with the post and lintel doorways indicate a backside transition. So the one in the room to my left goes to the graveyard of the Giants. The red arrow that goes up goes to the Gate of Guidance. The one on the right goes to the Twin Labyrinths. And the one that goes to the left is... Hold up. And now I draw a blank, of course. Endless Corridor. So I can rattle that off the top of my head. I know that's something that I have. And the other thing is, I have all the tablets noted. So there's one area where we got to, I think, tablet Y or something like that, indicating at least 25 tablets that all have text and clues on them that I use to solve puzzles. When I say that this is a puzzle-gated game, I'm not joking. Worse thing is noting that making maps this detailed is a special and wonderful kind of crazy. But this is something that I've been doing throughout, and it's one of the things that's let me track things down. True, Worse Than You does have the right of it. Let me think. Which one was it? It was, This is how the maps used to show up. Used to just be rectangles connected. I didn't have any other additional information. So I got the second piece of software, which has helped and made things a lot easier, but I've still internalized a lot of this, which has meant that I've been able to fluidly work with things. There was a point where I had to go and get treasures out of a face, and I had rough sketches in the background of the stuff in the Gate of Guidance indicating which faces even had, like, open or closed mouths, because the ones that had open mouths I had typically interacted with or already done something with. So it meant that I was able to sit there and go check, yep, this is the default map. Also, I have to find the map. So, the Mausoleum of the Giants is the one that I was saltiest over, possibly, because it took me so damn long to get the map. But I mapped it out on my own, without it. Now, since getting the Yabu Street map, it's made it easier to... So, getting the second piece of software has helped a lot. But I still have all the stuff that I've internalized from the earlier portions that really helps me. And it means that... The other thing is that every room has a name, right? Now, I can only see the name once I either get a clue that straight up indicates the room's name, or if I have the map. So, this actually was relevant at some points. The room names mattered. The fact that I was able to flip through my maps meant that I found a clue regarding something in Spring in the Sky. That otherwise would have been esoteric AF. There's also a point where the Mausoleum of the Giants, you have to figure out, in order to proceed, strictly speaking, you only have to figure out a couple of the giants, but if you can figure out all 9, then that makes it much nicer. So you use clues and stuff according to, like, how they're standing and whatnot. Give me a moment to... Or actually... Forgot for a moment that Zebu's over here. So, like... Whoop. This guy is Zebu. But he's the easiest one to figure out because he holds up the world. And now we get to the interesting part. Let's see if I can remember all the giants' names without referring to my map. Ribu's easy. Woo! Ribu is the one that points. Let's see. Sackett used to stand there. I'm blanking on this one right now. I really should know this. Maybe Lido? For some reason, Lido's coming to mind. We've also... I will get back to mapping in a moment. Miguela is left-handed, which means that that's Miguela. Strength lies at the foot of Udo. Wasn't this one? I think it was the right guy here. I don't remember them all now. I'm not gonna get them all. But the thing is, I had figured this out from all the clues and stuff that were kicking around. But the fact that I can even list half of them off the top of my head is an indication of having internalized a lot of this. It means that I've worked a lot more fluidly as time has gone on. It also leaves me records so that I sit there and can go back and read over my notes and remember things. So yes, I'm crazy. Don't get me wrong. I'm doing crazy detailed maps way more than I need to. Other folks do, might do things like take screenshots and graft them together, or stuff like that. Zebu's the one who's on one knee and is holding up the world. Yep, Kitty is cray-cray. Important things to understand. I'm a menace. Okay. But yeah. Basically, the main thing about this, my notes and maps have allowed me to not just sit there and brute force most of the ruins. I've been able to actually do puzzle solving Staged. This is why we can't have nice things. But no, this is the kind of thing that makes it a lot easier for me to progress, really. Where the hell did I set my controller? There. Mingli, actually. Beelzebub? Also, this looks like the freaking gate by the entrance. The Gate of Guidance. We're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Just because I want to get some mapping done. Let's not have this be like the Gate of Guidance, or not the Gate of Illusion mapping session, where I spent like 2 hours or something, mapped 4 rooms. That was a very chatty day. Staged. Staged says that Beelzebub wants to guide you to be one of the flies. This is why we can't have nice things. Because dingus. But yeah, all these maps I've been doing are hand done, and yeah, I fell a little behind on mapping. But I'm working on catching back up. And in the course of catching back up, I discovered that I was a dunderbutt, hence why we are here with this session today. So I guess depending on your perspective, it can be seen as a good or a bad thing. We have an eye there. The eye looks familiar too. The eye looks very familiar. Mega says, we all know that when you map, you find everything, except when I don't. I get the sense that you guys have as much fun with the things I miss as the times when, like, things go right. I did get a haircut. While I was out of town, I got my hair shorn. I needed it for months. I was talking since like last summer about needing a haircut, and I never managed to get around to it. So when I was out of town, I was able to go back to the salon that I have historically gone to. And she does a wonderful job with my hair there. Stage did not get a haircut. He's still rocking the mane. Because he's been growing his hair out to donate. Is it that it's reminding me of the eye in Endless Corridor? Who's this dude? We're gonna... Doesn't hurt me. Whoa. Okay. That's cool. Then we have this bit, which is an area that I've mapped. This is part of Bahamut's room. Whoa! Map update. We're part of... We're part of Palenque's room. Whoa! Okay, this is, the diarrhea horse's friend. Or the diarrhea pony's friend. We were born of this land. We were the 7th born. Gradually, the mother was forgotten. Okay. We're gonna work on getting Palenque's room down. No, that's not the order I'm gonna do this in. How do we... Okay. We're just gonna loop back this way. Oh, I healed at some point. So we are gonna go up here. I want to get back to where I was mapping before, because what we're gonna do is keep the tablets in some semblance of order. So all the tablets wind up getting a letter designation. I don't like that guy. And he doesn't seem to like me either. We're gonna get back to spots where we've mapped. Stage just sitting here joking about how all the important characters in this game are, the dev's names backwards. So, clearly, Ubez was the most important dev. Ow! Dang it. This area could just be obnoxious to navigate in certain regards. Come on, just... Okay. Dude's gonna be an asshole. Get out of here. Okay, so those also hurt. Nope. Didn't quite manage that. There we go. Yeah, take damage there. The point is, we get back up to Elmac's room. Also, the bats no longer hurt me. So we're just gonna sit here and map this really quick. Well, I'm casually midair. Oh, there's skulls in the way. I can't even check if that's a lamp of time thing. Welcome on back. So one of the things about this area that I imagine is going to vanish at some point is there's a bunch of things with these black skull walls. For example, the one that's immediately right to the mid-air sleeping Lameza. Excuse me. In terms of items that we haven't found yet, there's a crystal skull I think that we're supposed to find. That's probably going to be part of what does it. Now, part of the trick for me is because I expect these to vanish, I'm going to see if I can get away with not putting them on the map. Now, one of the things that's nice about Shrine of the Mother is the fact that all these surfaces are all jagged and everything, or at least look that way from here, means that we get away with a little more choppiness in the sketching. Which basically just means that I can relax a little bit and be a little less self-conscious about it. Because I really am trying to do good maps. We have spikes all along the bottom. The bats never bothered me anyway. So, I know one of the things that's interesting, I still need to fix my setup all the way. Because I'm not quite happy with the position of the table next to me. So, over the weekend, Stage and I finally got to doing a bunch of furniture rearrangement. So his desk was breaking. We got rid of the old desk. We swapped the table that used to be next to me in to be his desk. We put another table back here as part of my set. Got all that set up. Turns out that this table is a lot smaller than the one that was there. So it actually means that I can do things like maneuver around my setup a little bit. Which is a little weird. Still getting used to that. Hey, hey! Welcome on in! La-mulana mama. I like the sound of that. It's got a ring to it. So here, one of the things that I sometimes struggle with is displaying some of the crushers. I think what we're going to do for this one is indicate a directionality to it. So, let's see. Got a bunch of good stuff going on here. We also have the square thing over there. So, each of these rooms, for the most part, corresponds to a boss's name. Nah, I do need to make a trip to the optometrist at some point and look at... Things are slightly off here. And look at, making sure that my prescription is right for my lenses. No, it's actually a haircut. Stage, no, it's not because I call it vampirism. I might look pale, but that's just me. But yeah, got my hair cut. So, I've mentioned before that I like having my hair much shorter than it had grown. Because remember, I was in like full ponytail range. I much prefer having shorter hair. Part of it is when I was going to college, I went to school in a very northern climate. And I didn't... It was the kind of thing where I shower in the mornings. And if you showered in the mornings and then proceeded to walk outside before your hair was dry, then it would freeze and break off. I did not like this. I had already grown a preference for shorter hair, though not necessarily as short. But then when you're a college student, you wind up not... You're dealing with exams and homework and all that jazz. You don't have time to get your hair cut. So... you get used to getting it cut very short and then letting it grow in gracefully. Aww. Yeah. There's a mountain of plushes. Some of them I made. Some of them have been acquired over time. But I like them. Dingus. You guys are awesome. Making me smile. But no, it's... we did some rearrangement and stuff over the weekend. There's still a bunch more to do. My car is still full of furniture. I don't have any Neopet plushies, although I will admit I played far more Neopets than I care to admit when I was a kid. Kid here meaning actually about high school. Junior high into high school. It's rather impressive, actually. I never got any of the crazy expensive paintbrushes, but I did work up to the point where I was able to get a cloud paintbrush for my Zuitok. That was my favorite Neopet, or at least one that I could get access to. I couldn't ever get a Lutari or a Drake There's a few others that I really wanted, but they were always really hard to get. Orange is saying that he killed off more Neopets than he killed players in Overwatch. That's... Oh my. Y'all are silly. But yeah, no, I used to play a bunch of things like Neopets and stuff. The thing is, I went back in college at one point, because of course, you know, when you're in college, you wind up with everyone going through the nostalgia phases and going, oh my god, remember this, and everyone goes back to it. I had 2 accounts. My main got banned, though, at some point. The only reason... I had a second account so that I could roleplay in different guilds. And so that I could have a couple more pets. My favorite name, though, for any of my Neopets that I ever came up with was Cowbell Go Moo. And yes, it was a cow. But no, oh my god, you guys are being super silly today. But yeah, no, I used to do things like, God, I used to do things like Warrior Cats roleplay. It's my stream, so of course you silly. Oh my god. Y'all. You know what, Stage? Stage is sitting here saying that he's got to make up for me being such a Jerry. Positive is 99% sure he led his voice to a Warrior Cats fanimation. Oh my god. It's kind of crazy the stuff that winds up cropping up. So the nice thing about spikes is that you only get hurt by them if you are going into them. So long as you're not moving in the towards the direction they're pointing, you're fine. So I could walk through the spikes, no problem. Let's actually see how far down the platforms over here go. They go down into spikes. Feels good, man. Okay. I've watched some Rick and Morty. Not a huge amount. Nope. We're taking the damage. And this is Sacket's room. So this is the one giant that was missing because we killed him. Except because there's 2 areas. There's the Mausoleum of the Giants and what I call the Graveyard of the Giants. Due to a beautiful typo that I will forever keep. But for the Graveyard of the Giants, that's actually where the bones of the giants are. The mausoleum appears to just be a set of statues and monuments to them, which was pretty interesting when one of them came to life and tried to rocket fist at us and like chain fist and just shoot us and all sorts of... Needs more necromancy. But yeah, it is a clever little mechanic. Just directional hitboxes. But see, positive, it's also we move at full speed when we're walking along here. So it's not just like weaving in and out around them. You go do what you need to do, Orange. It's a pleasure having you come stop by. Excuse me. So we have 4 platforms in this room. We also have a chest in the middle of it. So one of the things that gets marked on here is chests. By the way, one of the things I plan on checking out, I think I missed a chest in Chamber of Extinction. Now that's going to be a Wednesday thing. But I'm pretty certain that I never tried interacting with one chest. It was open when I got there, and I never interacted with it, partly because I just had a dumb about the game's mechanics, basically. Because what it suggests is that I had fulfilled the condition required in order to open it, but had not actually gone, whacked it with a weapon, and opened it, and sorry, I bumped Mike. On the other hand, something tells me that that would turn into Lameza pole dancing jokes. Chest was trapped. Explosion's imminent. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Aw, thank you so much, Anne. We're having a nerd moment. Nerd moment incoming. Directly from Worse Than You. The directional hitboxes have a bit of a weird interaction with iframes because your movement direction is tested on the first frame you're in contact with them and not in iframes. So you can hop around in spikes just fine once you're in them. But if you do that while you have iframes, you can get hit by the same movement when they wear off. That's funny. I know I've made mention a couple times before that one of the things that's really cool for me, like, on the streaming end of things, is I love learning. And it's really cool to have folks around who have a much greater knowledge of the game in question, especially if I'm doing something like a blind, who have all these cool facts and stuff on tap. Because it's actually fascinating. So iframes are actually harmful if you're in spikes. That's freaking... No closing tag because obviously. Let's see. That one on the left goes all the way down. This one goes up here. Okay, so these three go down to the same level. It's just the last one that goes into the spikes. Basically, just as a have fun. Prepare to be impaled. The other thing is, if you see the discs here that are broken out. So there's 3 discs that are broken out and 1 that isn't. These correspond to basically seals and stuff. Trying to think of which that corresponds. So there are seals that we've picked up at different points in the game. So we have, what is it, the birth, the orange seal, origin seal, the birth seal, and the life seal. There's one more seal to go, which is here, which I think, according to Mulbrook's stuff, is... Let me check on that. Yeah, that's gonna be the death seal. Oh man, super positive sitting down with some nugs. And of course, you never stop being a nerd, so no closing frames. Stage, you don't need any more salt. This little guy is called Hungry Tag. I love it. So here's an area where there's going to be a tablet that we can't get to. Because... So the leftmost platform here, we would be able to jump off of when it's in the upper position to get over here, except for the fact that we have the black skull stuff blocking the way. So we need that to go away before we can get there. This looks like it's just going to be an interesting room. The seal that is here is When you have a seal that you can, no, wrong thing. When you have a seal that you can break, it pulses, like this one is. Stage says, yes, my playthrough makes him salty enough. Miss, I killed Pazuzu with shuriken. It was effective. It was effective. Slow, but effective. Look at the upside. I have switched to using chakrams for my ranged, let's kill this bugger. The resolution, yep. Worse than you beating me to it. We had a question regarding the resolution of la-mulana, and worse than you answered with 640 by 480. Yep. So one of the things about this that when you put it into a widescreen setting, it'll scale vertically to some extent, and then just add sidebars. But that actually makes it very convenient when streaming this. For all that it sucks to not have it, be the full size and be something you can work with, it does mean that you get to play around more with some of the overlay elements. The notable one being something that we introduced a little while ago. I think it's set up for this right now. Is it? There we go. Dang it! The border isn't working again. I have to restart OBS later. I have it set up so that the bar across here is blown up, basically, to go behind the overlay elements that I have. And the makeshift tracker that I have. But it's not liking me today. That's the one thing that I've been having issues with on this setup, and it's one of the ideas that I've been having that I just want to make sure is available is almost a little bit of a basically how-to guide on streaming this, or a streaming advice guide for if you're streaming la-mulana. For folks who are looking to do it, because we can make it sound really scary some of the time when we're talking about how it's puzzle gated and all this. But having just a sense for some of the process ideas, basically, that can help make it a really cool experience. And also that can help make it a lot easier for the community to engage with it. So having things like the overlay elements there. The tracker stuff makes it so that folks can see before they even pop in, where am I at in the game? But having things like that seems like a really cool thing. So I want to make sure that we have like a good tracker and stuff set up that is blind friendly as well. Which, I'm talking through this, and realistically, I'm probably about to be told that there's already a solution that works, or at least well enough, but I want to make sure that it's available in a nice... in one place, basically. A good, convenient, referenceable thing that helps make it more accessible. I don't know, I could just be crazy. Probably am just crazy. Okay, we know that I'm crazy. But one of the other things that's interesting to note about this area as I'm looking at it is how simple this is compared to how it initially looks. It initially looks like a very complex area to map, but when you boil it down, The thing that makes it complex is a lot of the jagged stuff that's noted in some of the background elements, but the core of what's going on itself winds up producing some very simple rooms. It's just interesting stuff to note. So the blue rectangles are item chests. If they're closed, like the one that's currently behind my map, then that means that we can't get into them yet. You have to unlock the chest before you can actually open it and get to what's inside. There we go, make this a little wider to reflect that. And that's a room. So we're already doing better than I did with the one Gate of Illusion mapping stream. I'm a dingus. So there we have a closed chest, which means that we can't get into it. I almost jumped for the orb, and then I remembered that that would be silly. So what do we got here? We got Tiamat's room. I don't think that I'm able to get to that tablet either. So one of the really fun things about this for me has been the puzzles. I'm trying to remember, what puzzle was it? Because it was a beautiful thing where I finished a puzzle or like some complicated thing, and I got rewarded by having tablets to translate, and we were just sitting here laughing over that. I'm trying to remember which thing I solved, and I'm accidentally causing earthquakes. I am going to have to take a quick break momentarily to just put water on for tea, because I can feel my throat giving me a little bit of guff. Have you ever had one of those moments where you just sit there and you go, like, really? Like, you're chilling, trying to relax going into the start of the week, you know, make sure you're starting off in a good spot, and then just stuff starts blowing up creatively. And, like, you go and check in something, you check messages, and just next thing you know, everything is on fire, and you're getting agitated, and you're supposed to be asleep, like, an hour ago, and I had one of those crop up last night. Which was not what I needed to start my week, and I did initially want to start this stream a little sooner in the day. I think I originally mentioned something like probably 1 p.m. EDT, because that's a pretty consistent time for me starting wise. And I just wound up, I was agitated. And it sucked. One of the problems with that though is when I get really agitated, I start having to talk through it. And so that does unfriendly things for Staged. Sometimes keeps him up past his bedtime, but it also can take a toll on my voice because I don't pay as much attention to keeping my voice in good shape as I usually do. So I can feel my voice is a little rough today, which I don't like. A little wide. Clean this up a hair. But no. I wound up just agitated, and I don't like it. Because also, it's really hard for me to deal with being salty. I think that's a wall? That looks like a wall. It looks like it's on the same layer as a wall. No, I don't deal well with being salty or particularly frustrated or angry. It's really bad for me emotionally. One of the reasons why I lean towards a chiller vibe. I don't like watching other people be super, super, super salty. Not to say you can't have salty moments. Yeah, but it's, are you getting back to center? Are you getting... Are you venting it and then getting back to a better spot? That's what I lean towards in terms of preference, both in just my existence and also in what I like to see in others. But it makes it very hard for me to be wound up and agitated. It just takes pretty heavy emotional toll. Super service times. I'm pensive is part of it. But no, my week got a bit of a rough start because of that, and I'm still working on recovering completely. Later on, I guarantee you I'm going to look at this map and go, I should be able to get there, and then I'm going to get back here and go, oh wait, there's a wall there. But that's the choice that I'm making with respect to showing the bone walls or not. So once I get to read them, these tablets will get a letter designation, and I'll record their text in the notepad file. Give me one moment. This is going to take all of maybe 30 seconds. I'm going to put hot water on. Boom. But yeah. The other thing that might happen is, depending upon what tablets I'm able to access as we go through here, I might be able to show off some of the translation stuff that I do. Because there's a cipher in this game that is a simple substitution cipher that I, well, deciphered. I have to remember which way to go. The satyrs are annoying, but funny. I couldn't go down that way, I don't think. Nope, because that's the room with the seals. Which means that it is this way. There's a point where just face tanking it, and that was not a terrible option. And we get to Palenque's room. And the asshole laterals. But yeah. Yeah, this is not going to be a terribly long stream in the end. Let's see, we've been going for about an hour, 15 minutes. I'm most likely going to wrap up once we get everything that I can access for this map done. But it's possible that, depending on whether I'm feeling it, that I go back and work on Endless Corridor with you guys and just keep hanging out. We'll have to play it by ear a little bit. Because I also don't want to run myself into the ground at this point in the week and leave myself, you know, with a half tank or worse, just energetically and emotionally, for when we get to la-mulana Wednesday. Because that's when we're gonna... Right now, I'm not interacting with anything other than, like, reading tablets and jumping around. Which I know has the potential, because it's la-mulana, to wind up with me activating something, and next thing you know, I have a timer, and I'm trying to not get dead, or I have a giant eye chasing me. You know, NBD. I know that there's a chance of that happening, but we're gonna see what happens. I'm just tired. We'll see. I know YSP was in here a little earlier, and I was talking with him about maybe kicking back and playing a game or two of Mind Night at some point. So I might see about doing that later on. I'd figure out food. Tomorrow is the store run day. And dear, do we need it. Okay, so we have this room, which is half of Palenque's room. It's almost done. Yeah, Shrine of the Mother. I will clean up the map a little later, tidy it up some, but we'll have this posted tonight. And I need to go back to fighting with Pastebin. So it looks like they've been having issues with their authentication servers, possibly, because I was trying to log in on my account and it was failing. Tried to retrieve my password, never got the password email. Said screw it, let's just, the other account was kittybard. Let's make Kitty is a bard and just get something working, right? Sensible. Trying to actually, get everything posted. Even though I just made the account and did the email verification, login failed. Repeatedly. So unless I got something silly like an IP ban or something, Makes it a pain though to update, so if I can't get it working tonight, if I can't make the Pastebin work so that I can update it, I will find some alternative means of getting the text for the tablets posted and updated and get that in. It's just frustrating because I had a solution that was working out pretty well. Made things available. Heads up, as soon as this boils, I am going to take a very, very, very quick break. Just to mix everything up, grab stuff for tea, get situated with that. So that'll be maybe a 3-minute break. But yeah, so we are making good headway on this. This is a lot more efficiently than I often wind up working on maps. Because usually I wind up doing things like hanging out in other people's streams while I'm mapping. It's not to say that if you see me hanging out in a stream, I am mapping, but that's what I often wind up doing. But it's hard to find the right balance of a place that's good to lurk, but that isn't too distracting, but that I can selectively engage with. It occurs to me that in future, I should probably turn up the volume on the game audio when I am doing mapping streams, given that so much of the time it's paused. It means that you're basically winding up with a very low game audio stream. That's something I will have to attend to. So that is a tablet that we will be able to read. And even if it's encoded, I'll be able to read it. I haven't warmed up at all today, but that's easy enough. So, looking at the distribution of walls here, I did get down to that before. We will have to go back and heal in the not too distant future. I think the way that we got to that was, yeah. So that'll be one that we check once we hit the save point. Asshole skeletons. I missed a ladder. I'm good at this, guys. Seems that now. That's the kettle boiling. I will be right back. There we go. And we're back. So, got my tea steeping. I can't get to the tablet in this room yet, but that will be something that happens as soon as I come back up around the other way. Now we get into half of Baphomet's room. And there's a tablet down there. We'll have to see if I can access it. I really hope I get to access some more of these tablets because I really want to find more out. There's a bunch of leads that I have for next session. So we've got all this stuff going on with Shrine of the Mother, which may or may not yield stuff. I'm trying to think of things off the top of my head. Things to cover. I found something in Endless Corridor. There's a chest that I don't think I ever checked out in Chamber of Extinction. Gate of Illusion. I plan on checking something. That one's a little more interesting to explain. So we determined that in the Chamber of Birth, right? There was, in the Chamber of Birth, there were carvings on the walls everywhere. Some of them were black. Some of them were white. The black ones seem to indicate that you need to use an item there, corresponding to the image. So, for example, there was a black serpent, and there was a pedestal next to it. We used the serpent staff, and next thing you know, oh hey, things happen. one of the things that's been sticking in my head is the fact that there was a tablet that showed up in the Cog of Life room in Gate of Illusion. And when that showed up, it's got a red, I think, image of the Cog of the Soul on it. I never bothered trying to use the Cog of the Soul on this tablet, though. Even though it reminds me in some ways of the tablet stuff, or not of the tablet stuff, of the wall stuff, and basically what amounts to a version of Monkey See, Monkey Do that you get in the Chamber of Birth. Why am I getting pinged? Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. There's a server that I have to pay more attention to. That when they ping me, I need to check what's going on. But no, we've got good stuff going on here. So there's going to be a tablet down there. Trying to think. So what else was on the agenda? There's a couple. I sent a list to stage. Excuse me. Yeah, there's one chest I don't think I ever interacted with in Chamber of Extinction. Oh! In the Graveyard of the Giants, there's a tablet frozen in ice. There's a piece of image software that we got for the in-game computer that I don't know whether I have to stand in front of the area in question or whether I can get away with just being on the same screen that I want to check out. Do those two levels, and then this is the top level. There's a vertical there because they're obnoxious. There's one room up here, the left half of Tiamat's room, we can't get into right now unless I'm completely barking up the wrong tree with everything and making just bad assertions again. I say again because there's a few times where I've gotten ahead of myself, or I've made snap judgments and just, like, failed to notice things. I'm really working at getting better about that, especially since I had the one stream where I ruled that I couldn't make a jump in Gate of Illusion because basically my fingers were mapped to the wrong game. There's a tablet we can get to. My fingers were mapped to the wrong game. They were mapped to Dead Cells and not to la-mulana. So I was making Dead Cells jump timings as opposed to la-mulana jump timings, which results in some very different jump behavior. But so wound up with those issues. About a third of the way into the room. It's good stuff. I made the ruling about not being able to make a jump that I could totally make. And then I also had the stream where, or the ruling about Shrine of the Mother. I can't get further. The kitty may be a wise kitty. The game might even say the kitty is a wise man. Remember, kitty is a dirtlefish. And a dunderbutt. And sometimes a dingus. Though not the dingus. That's staged. But no. Once I get done mapping this main area, there's one room that I can't get into. And I think I have to remember where the entrance is to this room. because that is an entrance from somewhere else. I remember getting into it at least once. But I don't remember where it's from. So that'll be something where I might actually just check my maps first. But yeah, good stuff. So let's see. Then we have... Was that the Endless Corridor one? There's two from Endless Corridor, aren't there? Because there's the one from the bottom of the Endless Corridor. And I think there's the one in the middle of the Endless Corridor from the second Endless Hallway. Or second Endless Corridor. But yeah, once I map an area, I internalize it a lot better. It's just that when I'm sitting here and keeping track of, you know, 12.5 areas, eventually you wind up with mental slips and hiccups. But no. My eyes are bugging out. Might need a nap after stream. No. What's going on with all of you? I know Stage is looking at going to the gym tonight. And I should go with. Because we're supposed to be going together. It's just between being out of town and a whole bunch of stuff like that, it's been very hard to get the pattern, to get the habit going, really. Nope. I think this is the one area thus far where I just really don't like the music. There's some where it gets annoying after a while. I just don't like it here. Like it's weird. It feels like it's actively making me tired. Question? How do they know this? How? Because Okay. The problem that I'm having with this so the mother's existed for basically as long as we can bloody remember. Sure, she's been asleep for a while, but she's existed. How do we know what happens when the soul is shattered? How? Sometimes this game makes me wonder. Then again, I shouldn't be surprised by anything that this game throws at me at this point. Considering that we have seen carvings of female reproductive system on a wall in the Temple of Moonlight. We have seen confetti sperm. That's probably my favorite thus far. Like, we got a statue pregnant. Or, well, we didn't. The confetti sperm did, but that's beside the point. What the shit? Like, what? Okay. This game. So. We have notes. That said, this is the first time I think that we've heard about the... So, the green text here indicates that this is going to be an item, I think. I think it's been consistent. I forget if it's been consistent. I don't note colors in my notes. I note if something is keyworded using underscores on either side, basically, you know, as if it were an underline. But the secret treasure of life. Oh hey, the things are shooting. We have Vi's room. The Vi fight. Oh my god. So one of the things that I'm appreciating about this area is it's getting me to think about the frickin' fights that we've had. Because there have been some pretty baller ones. The Vi one is funny partly because frickin' Magus is brilliant. I think Stage made a remark about it'd be great if there was like a Santa hat or something on Vi. So Magus went and photoshopped that up real quick. And part of me is very tempted to still turn that into an emote. That said, emotes are actually going to be happening soon. So one of my friends, Prince Razzie, is going to be doing emotes for us and getting those commissioned. And those are going to be coming, yeah, we should be hearing news on those within the next couple of weeks because she is running an artist alley table at a con. Yeah, later this week. So she's in con crunch time. So, other than maybe a couple concept sketches, I don't expect anything until maybe next week. But we're getting emotes. It's about time. I completely buggered up the spacing here. Because that's a much higher spacing. I try to get at least within the ballpark on my sketches. Oh great, Lemez is about to get shot. Well, we're about to go skydiving. Oh. Okay, less so than I gave it credit for. I think the dragon lost its head. I think the dragon lost its head. So one of the things that was hinted at a while ago is we have a dragon bone in our inventory, which looks like a dragon skull. We have this dragon skull in our inventory. Dragon bone. And we were told to let the map guide its placement. That looks like a dragon statue to me. And I don't know, looks kind of like he's lost his head. I would appreciate if the electric monkey could cease and desist. So we are definitely, one of our first orders of business on Wednesday is going to be coming here and taking out, using the dragon bone. We are definitely going to be using the dragon bone there. Because we were told to let the map guide its placement. That looks like a dragon to me. We look at the map, there's an icon of the dragon bone. Seems about as sensible as anything in this game does. I shouldn't make snarky jokes like that about this game, though. See, here's the thing. For all that there's a lot of esoteric puzzles and things here, it does make sense for the most part. Sometimes it takes a little thinking, and sometimes you don't understand things until way after you... Sometimes you don't understand clues until after you've solved what's going on. Which sucks sometimes, but... No, it's... I like it a lot. I think these are the main features of this room. Some of these rooms are very simple. How far down does the platform go? Lameza gets hit. Boom. God, this is out of here. Just, okay. We're gonna go back to the surface. We are going to dip. And then I'm gonna see about getting that one last room. Let's see, so that was part of Vi's room. Which makes me wonder why it's not part of someone more Draconic's room. Because Vi is not particularly draconic. Yet there's... When I sit down and, like, more efficiently move through this, I do get a lot done. Now, there's at least one tablet that I have to go back and check. But then... Yes, this is the way. Also, because I think it was requested earlier, we're back here. So the flies can hurt me. I can't hurt the flies. Interesting. Hee. Getting a nice jump extension there. Boom. Then we have... This is going to be tablet G. So now I'm typing into the notepad file. Born of this land. We were the 7th born. Gradually, mother was forgotten. Now... Okay. Okay, and that was tablet G. So there are at least 2 unread tablets in the Shrine of the Mother. But we can't get there. So now I think this is gonna suck. I'm about to take a shit ton of damage. Just, like, I went the wrong way to get to there. Okay. So now we get to commute through the endless corridor. Dang. Thought I was going to be able to get flipped back around in time. We're just holding up the shield, just taking care of projectiles. Did I really get another item fairy? I got one en route earlier. Oop. Come on. Gotta get the jumps right on this. Come on. Secret passageways, all sorts of jazz like that. Just staples of la-mulana. Yep, gonna take damage. No, come on. The funny thing is, I could have actually gone for a healing fairy instead. Just because of the amount of damage that tends to come in when making this particular commute. Okay. Right. And we have a big horsey. But a big horsey's killable. And then we try and... There we go. I went too far into the endless corridor. Hey guys. Hey guys. I'm a stoop. I didn't mean to go that far. I meant to just go here. Yep. Dingus. So right now, I can't actually get into this chest area, or even the area proper, because you'll note that we have the 2 lines of black bone stuff again there. But I'm hoping that if we use the dragon bone where we're supposed to, that will go away. This is going to be fun. Yeah, we're going to have a fun time with this one. This is going to be one of those things where I will be very careful to warm up on la-mulana before I do the stream on Wednesday, because I need to make sure that my jump timings are good for this. So, what I'm seeing is we have that middle spire, and then we have the sets of crushers going into it. The lower set of crushers hits first, and then the upper one. So we have to jump up, not get crushed by the lower one. Oh, and the heads are going to start shooting at some point. So we have to deal with this crusher stuff. We have to get up on top of that. And then we have to make sure that we make our jump so that we don't get hit by the crushers that come in towards this spire. Because what do we have to do? We have to put weights on those two daises. I'm gonna have fun. Fair odds on Kitty getting smushed. The thing that sucks about that is mostly that it's just inconvenient to get here. It's not bad, it's just inconvenient. So yeah, this is what I'm able to do of Shrine of the Mother. This is a map. It's not as complex as some of the other maps that we've done, but it's still... There's the one room that we can't get into, at least because that's one that as soon as those walls are gone, as soon as those skull walls are gone, I'll be able to get into. We have 3 tablets that are not yet read that we'll be checking out next session, provided the using the dragon bone down here does what I think it will. And yeah. That said, I think my voice is giving out, and I'm feeling tired. I think what's going to happen is that we're going to wrap up for now. I'm going to go take a nap, and then I will get the paste bin stuff done, and wrap up Endless Corridor for posting this evening. I might not get Endless Corridor all the way there, but at minimum you'll have Shrine of the Mother, and I'll figure out something to do with the paste bin. So, yeah. Short little mapping stream. So let me take a quick look at who all is doing what. Tell you what, she stopped by a while ago and Order of the Bat is awesome and chill and just generally a good person to hang out with. She's actually starting to do some creative stuff. She's doing some chainmail today, so I think that we're going to throw the host over the Order of the Bat. Give me a moment to get that entered, because we know that I can't talk and type at the same time. But yeah, I know this is a short stream and I'm tired, but I'm gonna go get a nap, and then I'll get everything posted later on, and I will let y'all know in the announcements in my Discord when things are live. This week we have 2 other streams, the main attraction being La-Mulana on Wednesday evening, Eastern. So that'll be getting rolling at about 6:30 p.m. EDT. excuse me. We'll also have Dead Cells Friday afternoon Dead Cells, kicking off at approximately 1 p.m. EDT on Friday. So there's more stuff going on. If you want to check out some of the map stuff, I have a link to the Imgur album posted in my panels, and there's also an archive of the blind run that I've been doing of La-Mulana. So if you want to check those out, those are available. If you want the latest news and updates, Kitty is about helpfully posted it a minute ago. We have my Discord, which is a good way to keep in touch with me. And if you ever have questions or anything, it's a great place to ask me. Plus, I wind up hanging out in voice chat some of the time. So, yeah. In any case, once again, thank you so much. I had a blast. I'm gonna take a nap. And let's send some love on over to Order of the Bat. Thank you for coming by.